You're watching New Soundwave with your hosts, John DeLuna, Brian Kilby, XV, Lady Rick, Bweebum, with Rob Springer.
Hey everybody, it's your old friend John DeLuna. This is New Soundwave 84. Fantastic. Joining me is a little bit of different, a different assortment of guests and friends. Rob was actually stomped to death by a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Allegedly.
Yeah, he wandered into the paddock, and we know what happens.
No, John, you read that wrong. He was stomped to death by a tarantula.
Oh, okay, even better. It is Georgia, so they are as big as like a truck.
It's like the eight-legged freaks version. Like
they actually have a dedicated lane. They don't have HOV lanes. They have tarantula lanes.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Just a giant spider crossing.
This sorbet is delicious.
Yes, and the sorbet is delicious.
You know what else is good? This Kroger generic Dr. Pepper is surprisingly good.
Wow.
What's it called?
Dr. K.
Awesome.
K.
Not bad.
This is not
bad.
Dr. J. That's
But
awesome.
it's not as good as the Walmart generic name, which of course is Dr. Thunder.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds like a rock video in the making right there.
Yeah. Or it
To
sounds
me,
like a supervillain living in a volcano.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like a laxative, but
or that. It could
Like
be
that's
both.
what happens after you drink it, like 2 to 3 hours later.
Big Thunder.
Dr. Thunder.
It's like a big frowny on the back of the can.
You know, and you're like, why do they have coupons for magazines? I don't understand.
So yeah, video games.
Oh yeah, this show.
So yeah, Rob is actually he may or may not be on every new Soundwave, but he's not going to be a regular cast anymore.
He's a rock lord.
He's a rock lord. Real life intervenes every now and then, right? Yeah. So
Rob is busy right now being a manly man at work.
He is the manliest man we have ever manned a man. So in place of Rob, at least for tonight, is the very powerful, the very talented JD. Also joining me, Peter, a.k.a. Bweebum, always, and the fantastic XV, always the most productive member of the cast.
The stream seems to not be working quite right at the moment.
Well,
frozen and no sound.
Well, you know what? We've got a recording going, so...
All right, are we recording still?
Yeah, we're recording.
Yeah, so we're going to fight on. We are going to. Actually, when I worked in TV, of course, shit would happen all the time on live TV, and I'm trying to think. One of the anchors, I remember it. Whenever shit happened on live TV, one of the anchors, she had a catchphrase, and it was also code for I'm about to explode here in anger because nothing's going right and I'm live on TV in front of a few 100,000 people. She would always say, pushing forward.
Yes.
So, yes. So,
I actually used moving on Fanboy Versus this weekend.
Fantastic.
I had
yeah.
Nice.
So when the video froze and they came back to her with her makeup out, or they caught her with the cussing out a cameraman, pushing forward.
That's awesome.
So okay,
really,
cameraman.
Really?
Oh, poor cameraman. God bless you guys. Anyway, New Soundwave 84.
Right.
Video
games.
Again. So
it's fine. We're just loosening up a little bit.
Right.
We are warming up, taking our swings, practice swings. This is going to be a good show. It's going to be sweet and short and chock full of goodness. Duke Nukem is out.
No, it's not.
Yes.
It's not.
Yeah. Chilly 20 degrees.
I wish we had a ridiculous party noise for this because.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. No, not a grind. Not grind music. No,
not like
party.
You're not talking about like industrial sort of.
Yeah, we weren't really talking about trance, but take it.
Or dinner or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll play some fanfare in our head.
So the game that never
coming out. It's only been 12 years, guys. It's only been 12 years.
It hasn't been that long.
It's just going by for me. I don't know.
I want this game though. I'm shocked that I don't have it in my hand right now.
Did you play the old Duke Nukem game?
I still have the old Duke Nukem game. I still have Duke Nukem 3D.
in its shrink wrap.
No. I
Oh.
played it all the way through. I beat it. I love that game.
It was a great game. It was a great game. This game, I can't say for certain. We can't say for certain, but
Is there a demo out? Can I download the demo?
yeah, I'm sure the demo's out. I'm sure you can play it somewhere or get a taste of it free. But Metacritic has the game at 50%, which is not good, buddy. Not good. So I don't
So
know.
maybe
if
instead of
it's
that party sound, we could insert sad trombone.
Probably. Yeah, or just like people screaming, just the sounds of people screaming. The game overall seems like, it's probably good if you're into it, right? If you're like JD, if you've been aware of it.
If you
and
love toilet humor and boobs, how could you not like this game?
You're American.
Yes.
You're American if you love that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? This is a game. I think we'd all agree this is a game that probably would have a hard time getting a good score from a game critic, just by the nature of the game. It's like a raunchy comedic movie. It's like The Hangover 2 or something like that. It's funny. It's enjoyable. It's probably not the greatest constructed game in the world.
Possibly. I don't know. I think I'm certainly willing to think of the possibility that there was so much lead up time to this that it became second nature to laud it. And that now that it's out, I think that sort of it may be tainting the water, so to speak. It's possible. I don't know. I haven't played it. I'm just saying I'm putting out the possibility that some critics and reviewers were so anticipating hating it that when they put it in their hands, they're like, well, "This is crap. Why did we wait 12 years for this?"
Well,
Absolutely.
I mean, nothing could live up to 12 years of hype.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
12
that's
years
kinda
of
what I'm
hype
saying.
is a lot of hype, man.
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
sure
there's
is.
yeah.
Hey, Peter, you've got some interesting stuff, I think, on like the actual negative reviews. That there was some actual backlash, I think, from it, which is interesting.
So the Redner Group, which is which was the PR firm for 2K Games, kind of they saw these reviews coming in, and apparently the reviews that we've seen so far on Metacritic is 50%. It is none too kind. So the one of the publicists put on Twitter that too many went too far viewing who gets games next time and who doesn't based on today's Venom. Bad scores are fine. Venom-filled reviews, that's completely different. He later found out that was a dumb thing to say because that is like a GameStop thing, a GameSpot thing all over again. And so he apologized and said, I'm sorry. I know I'm not right. I wasn't thinking. My fingers decided to just blurt some stuff out, and I'm sorry. And then 2K's like, nope, we're firing you anyway.
And this is a professional publicist.
Yes,
Yeah.
professional publicist. And the guy is Jim Redner, so I am assuming he is like the CEO or a big shot of the Redner Group.
He's not getting fired.
No,
He's not getting fired.
not
At
at
the
all.
Redner
Oh,
Group.
no, but the whole group is.
Yeah.
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 It's everybody else's fault. Interesting. It's interesting how PR firms are often like the most insulting or the worst at PR at times.
That's what you call irony, kids.
Yes.
It's definitely
like,
sad. It's definitely sad to say, like, for the stuff that we do encounter some PR firms, and some of them can be a little bit on the like the blunt, non-nice side. It's very
Sounds
surprising.
like great PR. It sounds like wonderful PR. It's like,
It's
I
kind of
like my
surprising.
customer service blunt and rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Yeah.
I hate you all.
So maybe next week, I'm sure if some of our cheap asses can find like a free demo of Duke Nukem, we will, and I'll try, and maybe we'll have some thoughts on it next week. Real quick for the chat, I just put in the chat a video of Robin Williams pimping the Zelda 3D game. That's right, Robin Williams.
Sorry.
The
What?
3D. That's right. So, and that's why you got to watch live. So, yes. So that's a freebie for the chat. Moving on. For you Sony PSN owners,
We're sorry.
yeah, We're also JD and John.
Yeah.
Sony
Yeah.
offering 6 free months of Curiosity service to say they're sorry to us for that little thing that happened with the PSN. PlayStation Blog has announced that all PS3 owners ages 18 and up are eligible to receive a free 180-day membership to the streaming music service. So, yeah, actually, if you don't know what the hell Curiosity is, it's a music streaming service. We get 6 free months if we want it, JD, if we want it. So if you want some more trance, here you go.
I've got Pandora on my TiVo. I think I'm good.
Pandora's a fad.
Pandora will never last.
Pandora's a fad?
Yeah, Curiosity.
Free streaming music.
Look, just because Pandora went their IPO today doesn't mean anything. Okay.
Right. I mean, it doesn't. Right. It's a flash in the pan sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
they'll be taken off.
Take free Curiosity and love it.
Who would?
They'll be delisted tomorrow.
Who would buy into mostly free music, or mostly commercial free music that's free? Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Nobody.
a dumb idea.
Nobody.
Hey, what's not a dumb idea? If you're like me and actually Rob, rest in peace, Rob, and Brian.
He's not. Allegedly.
Into fighting games, one of the biggest fighting games in memory is going to come out next year. We'll post some videos after the show. Actually, I'll make sure those get out on Twitter, our Twitterverse. Some of the best footage of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's been previewed at E3. There are lots of videos. There's already some high-level play, believe it or not, and the game's only like 50% done. Fighting game players are crazy. And another big game that's coming out next year, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, the online version, which will have actually a really obsessive and kind of neat feature. It's going to have several options for the video display. So you can play a cleaned-up version. Again, Third Strike is probably about, I'm going to say like 12 years old. So it's old. It's SD.
I haven't heard of that name in a while.
Yes. So one option is you can play kind of the cleaned up version that's got the graphics kind of smoothed over. Another version you can play is kind of the raw version, obviously with just kind of the graphics as they were. There's a third version which shows you, again, how crazy people can be. This version gives the screen a slightly concave look, like it would have in the arcade with the slightly curved screen back in the day, and also the scan lines that you would see in the arcade. So it tries to recreate the kind of crappy, slightly curved look of video games 12 years ago.
Oh, you mean like when the magnetization for the tubes like kind of like go awry? Oh, very nice.
Very
I know
nice.
this might be a strange thing to say after the 50 or so episodes we've done in the video game format, but I don't understand video game players at all.
But it was bound to happen. You were bound to come to that conclusion at some point. That's definitely a game that I'm going to get since I'm on Xbox Live. By the way, I am on Xbox Live, so sign up and or sign in and add me to your friend list.
You have a PS3 and an Xbox, and they're getting onto me because of the cost of my internet and cable service.
Not like we're getting onto Kilby.
Yeah, well,
but we're not.
I mean, Kilby spends like $700 on his phones like every week, and he doesn't ask questions about it, so he just accepts it. So anyway, good stuff for fighting game fans. Okay, so the Wii U. This is something we can all talk about. The Nintendo Wii U.
I'm sorry, I just read it as Wii, and I can't.
Well, Wii and Wii U, and I don't know. I loves you. Okay, so the Wii U. It uses an old, we got you. It uses an old Radeon processor. That's the bad news. The good news is that it's still better than the Xbox 360 and the PS3 processors. Of course, again, bad news is the 360 and PS3 probably won't be around very long, but for now...
How is they defining better?
Don't worry about that, Shady.
Okay. That would seem to be a subjective statement without the...
It has a bigger number after the name.
Because the Wii U, I mean, is this true next gen? I mean, is that what they're leaping into, so to speak? But
actually, I think aren't they just leaping into current gen?
Right. Well,
they're leaping a little bit right in front right in front of the current gen is what they're trying to do.
Yes.
Okay.
They're saying
Just in the right spot to get
2004
hit by the bus.
Right.
Yes.
So they're catching up to be behind is what we're okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes.
sorry.
So-
Okay, so moving
That
on.
sounds
I guess.
about right. I mean, they're the best system you've ever played in 2007. That's the. It will not play. It will not play DVDs or Blu-ray discs, despite the 1080p support.
Does this does that seem a little backwards? I mean,
It
in
seems
terms
backwards.
of,
Yes, it does.
or
Yes.
is it, well, okay, is it? I guess that's the question. Is this really backwards, or is this really progressive? Because we've talked about like
It's
the move
stupid.
from but we've talked about the move from solid media to streaming media. So is this brilliant in that way? I mean, is it moving the technology
But
forward?
the question is, why not? That's the real question. Like, just a DVD in general. Why not? Because
Yeah, there's no reason not to have at least DVD player functionality.
But
you're
okay,
actually spending more money blocking the ability for you to read.
well,
anything
how
other
are they
than a-
distributing games though? I mean, is it physical
DVD.
media?
They're
Yeah,
they're
you can-
discs.
They're
Yeah,
discs.
the Wii U has a slot for a DVD.
But is it a DVD or is it like their own media that they have like their own reader for?
Well,
And then they don't have to include the
they're
DVD
backwards
decoder.
compatible with Nintendo Wii discs, so it would be the same media. It won't be the GameCube mini discs.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, for
I
all we
didn't-
know, they'll probably push digital, DLC content.
Sure.
yeah.
But
still, I mean,
how many
it's weird.
people really use their Wii as their primary DVD player?
Well, nobody, because I don't think it even works as a DVD
No,
player.
but you can't. You actually, the Wii doesn't play DVDs. That's the point.
Well, the
thought
Wii can be made to play DVDs, but that's not a factory original
So
functionality.
it plays
no.
CDs,
the
not
mod,
DVD.
not off the box, not right out of the
Right.
box. You can't play.
Mhm.
So then, how is this not? I mean, so then why is this surprising? I guess is kind of what I'm coming
Because
around.
it was kind of
to.
surprising when the Wii didn't play DVDs either.
But then that's not. But that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, okay, but
It's surprising because it's going. They're trying to be. They're trying to catch up to the next gen, right? Or the current gen, actually, because they're one behind already.
but then isn't. Okay, I mean, I guess I'm
Yeah.
just kind of playing devil's advocate and saying,
Yeah,
in a
no,
way,
I get you.
No,
it's
I
kind
understand
of
what you're
next
I
saying.
totally understand
I'm saying
that,
it's they're actually, because I don't have a DVD player. I use my Xbox as a DVD player,
Okay, and that's
And-
probably common.
and it's not. And I feel that if I'm gonna spend $250, $300 on a video gaming system, could at least throw me a freaking bone here to be able to play a DVD.
yeah, because DVD player hardware is not expensive by any stretch of the imagination.
All right, let me ask this question to the panel and just kind of see. Okay, when was the last time? When in the last month did you go to the shelf, grab a DVD off the shelf, and put it in your DVD player?
Haven't.
I've done it. What's this one?
Did you say what's this month?
This one- what year is
Okay,
this?
John.
well, that answers
No,
that
I guess to answer your
question.
question for me, JD, okay, so the Blu-ray function on the PS3 was one of the things that made me buy a PS3, and so I don't have a lot of Blu-rays, but of course, like on certain movies or things that aren't easily animated movies, like DC animated movies and things like that, I got a Blu-ray of those, and of course that is my Blu-ray player. The PS3 is my Blu-ray player, so I mean that's what. And so I actually use the PS3 more for playing Blu-rays now than playing games at this point.
Yeah, and I do, and same for me as well. But I'm saying, really, like in the last month, just I mean, John, when was the last time you grabbed a DVD or Blu-ray off the shelf and put it in your system?
Well, I mean, it was like a couple
I
weeks
have.
ago, but it's always like when I get a Blu-ray, a new Blu-ray, I play it I watch it as soon as I can, then it goes on the shelf probably forever.
Right.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
And
Yeah,
I think so. That's what I'm saying. I think there's a possibility here that they've actually made a smart move. They're not including technology that they're perceiving to be antiquated.
I don't
Well,
think
and
it matters.
here's another thing with it too. I think the way the Wii rolled out Netflix streaming, I think Nintendo's probably banking on the Wii U getting the same market penetration and being able to take advantage of the Netflix HD streaming now because it is an HD capable machine.
Yes, and
Yeah, but-
that's what I'm thinking.
I understand the antiquated thing, but I'm still not sold on the idea of why not including it in there.
It just costs.
It's-
It
They're
just
not
costs.
using it. As far as I know, the laser is not any different. They're actually limiting. So
But
from
they
what
may have to have decoders, and I think there's other decoding technology that you have to include. I think there's other physical technology that you have to include to
Maybe,
decode the DVD.
but
movies.
I'm pretty sure once the Wii U comes out and the homebrew community gets a crack at it,
they'll figure
they
out. a
will
way to do it.
have Wii U's that can play at least DVDs.
So then there's to the point. Then why include the physical media when you know somebody else is going to do it for free anyway if they want to? You know, and that's why I'm saying Nintendo. The only way that they have survived, the way that they survived with the Wii, was by making a cost-effective system and selling it for more than they were putting it together for, and getting people to buy them up like hotcakes. And I think that that's what they're trying to do here. I think they're trying to make a cost-effective system, strip it down, provide it with the bare media, and this will be something that will be a companion unit to the next gen systems. Anyway,
and if you go back and look at what Nintendo's done in the past, they've never been about like all-in-oneing the hardware.
No.
There's never been built-in media support for anything they've done
No.
in the age when PlayStations and Xboxes were doing it.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, we will see, right? Especially, it'll be interesting as we get little tidbits here and there. Hey, before we get to our topic, some May sales for you guys, if you're wondering. May sales overall were kind of soft. Actually, over the last year or so, the video game industry has been surprisingly flat. Finally, the recession has hit the video game world, but some titles are still doing well. Number one, with a bullet, is L.A. Noire still for the 360 and PS3. Number two, Brink for both consoles and PC. Number three, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean for every system on Earth, it seems. It's out for like 7 systems. Portal 2. And then rounding out the top 5, Mortal Kombat. By the way, at number 6, Call of Duty Black Ops. So it's still up there. Still making
Who the hell doesn't
money.
have? Who the hell doesn't have this damn game already?
I don't know, but whoever doesn't have it is apparently still like buying it. I mean, it's still 6, so I guess every person on Earth will soon have Call of Duty Black Ops.
Eventually,
whether they
like
realize it or not.
Eventually, the baby in a womb will already have a Call of Duty when he gets older.
Yeah, they'll just pop out with a controller and a very tiny monitor. Okay, so also a little bit more, a few more numbers. Microsoft sold 270,000 Xbox 360s for the month of May. That's right, up 39% actually from last year. So it may or may not be people, I guess, put out by the PSN stuff. You'll never know, but. Microsoft was up 39%. Sony is up 14%. PSP is up 5%, and the 3DS, which has had disappointing sales since it debuted, it's only been described as having light sales in May. So that is an ouch. Double ouch. Okay, so for the topic, since we have JD here, and I think you Soundwave can always use a taste of MMO. In our pre-show. No. I like, you know what? I wish I could get into MMO because frankly, I used to like RPGs, and for whatever reason, I haven't found an RPG in a while that has really captivated me. But the closest thing I play to RPGs these days are modern sports games, which, when you think about it, are kind of essentially RPGs at this point. They're so elaborate.
I love the analogy there anyway.
Well, yes. Thank you. But in pre-show, okay, so JD, in pre-show, we were talking a little bit about various things. Mm-hmm. You actually mentioned that you are probably going to get out of Rift.
Yeah.
And so this brought up an interesting discussion in my mind. As an MMO player, somebody who invests a lot of time and money into your games, at what point do you decide to get out of a particular MMO? So with Rift, at what point do you realize, you know what, I'm going to bow out of this? Because unlike a normal game, an MMO requires, like I said, quite a bit more investment than your average game. So breaking it is a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, I'll compare it to like the Mafia. An MMO and MMOing is one of those things where it's like, you try to get out, but you never really get out. I mean, I can't tell you how many. I mean, I have literally quit World of Warcraft no less than 5 times, and I've been back.
You wish you could quit World of Warcraft.
I have at this point. My WoW account's been closed for at least 6 months, I think, at this point, 8 months, which is probably the longest it's been closed in 3 years, so quite a while. Rift, I mean, and the thing that happens to a lot of like MMO players, you have this deal where it's like you quit playing a game, especially a game that you've played for a long time, and when you go to another game, there's a certain amount of like startup lag, and so one of two things can happen at that point. Typically, what happens is that you'll go back to the game that you were playing. So like when Warhammer came out, there's a bunch of us that got really excited about Warhammer. We went and played Warhammer for a while, and then it was like, this is okay, let's go back to WoW. And so we went back to WoW. And I think that has probably happened to a few people with Rift. You start playing Rift, you get going along, and you get to a certain point where it's like, you get to that break point where it's like you're still leveling, you just don't feel like you're getting anywhere, you hit that wall, and you want to go back to what's easy. And so you go back. A lot of different things happen too. I mean, especially within the world of MMOs, like expansions, those will tend to draw people back. The last expansion for World of Warcraft wasn't that great, and it wasn't as highly renowned as, say, Wrath of the Lich King. So maybe by the next expansion, that might be something that I would go back to. But, I mean, a lot of times within those games, there's a lot of community that goes into it. And I just never, like with Rift, I didn't really get that strong community going. So I didn't really get going on it. And then I've been sick and had other things going on. And it's sort of like detoxing. It's like once you've been out of it for a while, you sort of detox. And then you're like, oh, I don't have to spend $15 a month. And I have free time. That's sort of, that's sort of fun.
To go find another game.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think for me at this point, it's just kind of, Amanda's been busy. I've been busy. We played together a lot before when we played WoW. So it has kind of given me
time.
like yeah. So it was like quality time for us. So we've kind of detoxed now as much as it could be. Hey, we play in the same room. My wife's computer's right next to me. So.
Okay, that's
I'm
good.
not sure if that makes him better or shady, honestly.
Well, okay, Amanda's really competitive, and so we have to like play cooperatively. But even when we do that, usually it involves a lot of yelling and demeaning. So
Yeah.
That's marriage for you.
yeah, pretty much.
Right there.
So, but I'm thinking I'm actually gonna like turn that money into playing some maybe PC games. Like I said, I got my free games. I got my Infamous and Little Big Planet, so I'm going to check those out.
Nice.
So, yeah, but I mean, like I said, in terms of like getting out, as like the Mafia, as long as you have your account, you can always reactivate it. And then I got a buddy of mine, here's a perfect example, Heath, who used to be from Cold Heart Slag. World of Warcraft ended his marriage. And
Whoa.
yeah, and he like quit playing, literally, like his wife couldn't get on the game.
Good night, everybody.
And anyway, ended his marriage. He walked away from the game for like 3-4 years, and now he's back playing and re-leveling the character.
Oh, okay.
So, it's the Mafia. Yeah, every time you try to get out, they just pull you back in. So
Interesting. Fascinating. All right, fascinating. Thanks, JD.
So,
if down the road, I will definitely want to pick your brain. We'll definitely want to pick your brain again on all things MMO. I think that's going to do it for this week's show. We're going to keep it short and sweet and high quality. We're going to go out on a high, a JD high.
Plus,
yes.
no, the rest of us can actually talk about MMOs with JD.
Well,
but
JD,
try out that free
speaks
demo
so
of pretty much
eloquently
any of your
about the
favorite MMO and see what happens.
Absolutely. So for the cast, for JD, for Weebum, for XV, I'm John DeLuna. This was New Soundwave, I think 84. Is that what I said? About 40 minutes ago. I think it is. We will see you next week. And then, like I said, be on the lookout within a matter of weeks for a new Soundwave. A lot more bells and whistles to compensate for the lack of Rob. We have to add lots of flashing lights and colors and spinny things, and
we're definitely compensating for the lack of something.
Yes,
it's like the pinball machine sequence from Sesame Street.
Oh, I thought you were going to say from The Wizard, but
no, the 1, 2, 3,
that
4,
works
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
No,
11,
I was more thinking like we were going to go with the Who and stuff, but okay, that's cool too.
No, but I was thinking specifically like the flashy lights and the spinny things.
Mm-hmm, that works, but they've got that in the Who anyway. So sorry, I went a different place. Anyway,
and now I got to go cut a Who video. So yes, I am John DeLuna. We'll see you next week for New Soundwave. Again, be on the lookout for the new Soundwave. See ya.
And Wayne Brady got to get out this cart and cut a bitch.
This has been New Soundwave with your hosts, John DeLuna, Brian Kilby, XV, Lady Reg, Dweebum, with Rob Springer. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Check out all our videos at tfvideo.net. Like the podcast? Tell your friends. New Soundwave is a radio-free Cybertron production. Copyright 2010 Radio Free Cybertron.